It is the year 2005. The treacherous cast of Mike's Camera Action has conquered the Latrobe Sound Studio from podcasters more deserving of it. I'm, of course, leader of the Decepticons here, Carl Pontisso. As always, I'm joined by my crummy, disloyal, and quite frankly, failure of a co-host, Alex.
Hey man, I use you as a gun. Leave me alone.
That is true. And of course, we're joined by token child, Tyler.
I've been kidnapped from Earth, and they don't feed me as robots don't eat food.
So this week...
Quiet you. Work harder on the moon base.
Oh, my fingers
Get back
hurt.
into the Energon mines, boy. This week, we're talking about Transformers the movie, the 1986 movie based on the cartoon, and I am so happy to be talking about this.
I don't know why.
Oh, I'm so happy.
It was a movie. It was
It is the ultimate movie. This is cinema perfection, the Citizen Kane of 80s animated movies.
Well, if you wanted a really good indication of what the 80s were, then this is the quintessential 80s action
So
Yeah,
movie.
this is very 80s, but like...
Is it good? We'll delve into that.
Oh, man. I just don't know where to begin on this movie and how much I love it.
I don't know why, honestly. I think part of it's nostalgia. You definitely have rose-tinted glasses when it comes to this film.
I might, but I don't care.
I can see how it would appeal to a kid. It's a very
Like a
action
4-year-old.
movie.
5-year-old Carl would watch this movie, rewind the VHS, and then watch it again.
You can, you got characters you can relate to, and then just enough action to keep your little mind occupied.
It kind of sucks that my favorite Transformers Optimus Prime.
Yeah, it probably does.
Yeah,
for you, doesn't it?
that's a massive shame there.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that
Yeah, that was the thing that got me the most. Like, you start watching this film, Optimus Prime, iced, 10 minutes into the film.
They killed him, and I'm sitting there like, when are they going to bring him back? They don't.
No.
Oh my god.
yeah, the leader of the Autobots who, I mean, it kind of makes sense to kill him off anyway because this movie is the Autobots' darkest hour. It's like it's the end game for them.
Considering the main villain in this is a planet.
Yeah, okay. Unicron is the most metal fucking villain ever because not only is he a planet, he's a planet that eats planets and transforms into a giant robot that smashes planets.
I had to admit, like, when he turned into a robot, that was pretty damn
cool as hell, dude.
I was
That
very
massive
impressed.
reveal of, oh, right, Unicron's a planet and a transformer.
The intro to him's really cool, and then the chomp sound effect happens, and I'm like, oh.
Okay, I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this now. So, picture in your mind, if you haven't seen this movie, a giant planet with horns shows up next to another planet and then just starts eating it, like devours it, cities crumbling, people being devoured by this monstrous entity. And then we cut to inside it as these chunks of planet and city are being churned up by giant metal jaws, and this is what we get. It's amazing.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
It's something. People are dying, planets getting eaten, and all you hear is just chomp, chomp.
It's like they got Orson Welles into the vocal booth to do all the lines for Unicron, and then they just said, okay, now eat. Just chomp, chomp, chomp.
It's your cartoon sound effect chomp at its finest.
So good.
Good. Oh.
And the best thing is, this is the opening where we've just seen an entire planet and its entire population get completely obliterated by a planet. And then we cut to Lion's Transformers theme, which is amazing. Just that guitar riff, the Transformers robots in disguise, the whole 9 yards. It's amazing.
Oh, the music was pretty cool,
It's
actually.
so
I have
good.
to admit that it was very good.
I don't know. There was the bit where they started playing Weird Al's Dare to Be Stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A dramatic scene. One, who are they calling stupid here? Why are they playing this? Why aren't they just playing the instrumental?
and they play it after one of the leader of the Autobots gets executed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it's Dare to Be Stupid, and there's a dance scene. Hello.
It's almost like one step away from just doing the Batsui.
It's a Transformers party.
Yeah, but it happens in the middle of the film.
Yeah.
That's the worst bit.
It's like the turn of the second to third act right there, and it's like, all right, let's have a dance party.
Yeah, it's a pretty serious thing. Everyone's in a lot of trouble. And
Ninny barn.
people are dying left and right, dancing.
Yeah, but they gave the universal greeting.
True.
And there's like those shark robots, and it's like
Sharkticons.
Sharkticons.
God.
I'm sorry, and it's like innocent, and they get dumped in the Sharkticon
Yeah.
tank. What happens if you're guilty?
Yeah, if the contestant deals you innocent, you get dumped into the shark tank, and it deals everyone innocent. If you're guilty, you probably have to eat the Sharkticons.
Ah.
It's a way worse punishment than death. Trust me.
It's probably one of my favorite lines there in the movie from Hot Rod, but I can't
Yeah?
remember it, unfortunately. I
What
don't
was
agree
it?
with your justice system or something like that.
Oh, I know this line. It's one of the guys says, "We're charging you with contempt of court," and he says, "I have nothing but contempt for this court."
That was a good
So
line.
good.
That was a good line.
Carl just replies with everything about this film is so good.
Yeah.
I love it.
But it's just a better Transformers 2 Revenge of the Fallen.
How dare you? How dare you?
Carl has nothing to say to deny
Where
this.
is the... Because Revenge of the Fallen is garbage.
I said it's a better version.
No, it's not.
I think you need to take what you can get.
No, Revenge... I'm not even going to argue this point, but I would. I want you to know if we weren't on a show right now, I would argue this point to the end. It's very different. There's no Unicron in Michael Bay's Transformers movies.
I keep saying it's a better version.
But there's no planet-eating monster in Revenge of the Fallen, is there?
That's why this film is better.
Optimus Prime comes back in Revenge of the Fallen.
That's not as good. That is better. That's the better bit. It's better than that.
He does come back in the cartoon. Like, the next 3 episodes after this movie is just the resurrection of Optimus Prime.
But does Optimus Prime still kick about?
I actually don't remember. I remember only specific things from the Gen 1 cartoon, unfortunately. I wish I could tell you.
Oh man, I don't know why. It's like Optimus Prime, but now I'm also Rodimus Prime. Oh no.
He ascends.
What an awful name, by the way.
Rodimus Prime.
Rodimus Prime.
He's a far better hot rod than we got in the last night, I'll give you that. At least he's not French. Osrods. Why is there a scene where he has to explain his name? That's something I'm so glad they don't have in Transformers the movie.
Yeah.
They don't have to explain everything to you. Sure enough, there's weird stuff, but I never stop mid-movie and say, why is this in there? Because in every Michael Bay, in every one of these new movies, there's that moment where I sit there in a scene going, why did they put this in here in the first place? And then why did they leave it here in the edit? Yeah. And there's always one in the movies. Like in the first one, it was Sam having to explain. It was Sam having that masturbation conversation in the middle of a scene with his parents.
Oh.
In the second, it's the Devastator's scrotum.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the thing.
I don't remember the third, but I remember there was something. And then in the fourth, it's Mark Wahlberg's daughter's boyfriend whips out a card and says, by the way, your daughter's underage, but the law says I'm allowed to date her. And there was no reason why they couldn't have just aged her up a little bit. It was pointless. They had to stop and say that. In the last night, it was the whole movie. It's a movie composed of scenes like that. It's weird. I should do an episode where I just talk about the last night someday.
Okay,
that's
so
an experience.
I looked up what happens to Hot Rod.
Yeah.
He steps out of being Rodimus Prime when Optimus gets back. It's hard to deal with that.
Does he turn back into Hot Rod? Like, does he just
he
shrink
becomes
back
Hot
into
Rod.
a sports car?
I
that must
don't
really
know.
suck to be like, all right, guys, I've led the Autobots through our darkest hour. I've, beaten Unicron, reclaimed Cybertron for the Autobots. Oh, Optimus Prime's back? Cool. Here you go, buddy. Take the Matrix back. You deserve it. Nah, he died.
Yeah, I also
I'd
started
fight
reading
for that
about
thing.
Transformers lore.
Oh?
Oh dear.
It's complex. It's deep.
The quintessence, which is like the weird spinning head thing,
The spinning
come back.
head, yeah, the tribunal thing, basically.
Yeah, the tribunal.
Transformers equivalent of the living tribunal.
Yeah, they come back. Used to be an overlord of the Transformers.
Right.
That
That kind of happens in the last night.
It's just so weird. I don't understand as to why.
Coming into it as someone who'd never really seen the Transformers cartoons, I was quite surprised that. I mean, you'd have to have watched the cartoons before coming into the.
I don't think you have to.
Oh, you don't.
There's also a little bit of there's a little bit of knowledge everyone comes into Transformers with. We all know who certain characters are. We all know Megatron. We all know Optimus Prime. We all know Autobot from Decepticon. Or at least most people who would watch this movie would at least have some sort of idea. You'd at least... And even then, it kind of explains it straight up at the beginning for you. Yeah, it's 2005. Autobots, good guys, treacherous Decepticons.
Trying to keep up with all of the characters that they were throwing at me was quite hard, though. I have to admit.
Well, part of what makes it easier for someone who hasn't seen the cartoon to understand is they introduce a lot of characters in this movie. Like the Autobots A-team of Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Ironhide, Jazz, they're not in this movie. They're too busy. They either die 20 minutes into the movie, like Optimus does, or they get devoured by Unicron 30 minutes into the movie, and then are gone for the entire... until the end game, they're completely gone. And even then, when they finally show back up, they're rescued, and then it's over.
Talking to the Dinobots about war stories while Hot Rod's fighting in the background. What a scene.
I will say, as much as I love this movie and love the property of Transformers, even as a kid, I always thought the Dinobots were a bit dumb.
Oh, dear.
I never really liked the Dinobots that much. Like, yeah, you'd think as someone who likes both Transformers and dinosaurs that I would love that and Grimlock would be my favorite character, but nope. Grimlock has always been, why are you?
Yeah, I can see why, because it's not good.
Me, Grimlock.
Grimlock King.
It's just a pain, and I'm like, please leave me alone.
Has to start every sentence with me, Grimlock, blank.
Yeah.
How do we deliver this line for Grimlock? No, just have him use the Grimlock formula. Me, Grimlock equals blank.
Which is sad because he's the I guess the spokesperson or the leader of the
talks to the Dinobots. He's king.
Is he the only one that can speak?
No, they have the Triceratops.
Yeah, the Triceratops delivers a line.
But like
a line.
A line, a single line.
They must have been paying the Triceratops by the line.
I mean, it tells a lot that you only know that we only know the name of one of the Dinobots.
Yeah, true.
I mean, he says it every time he speaks, so it's pretty easy to remember it by the end.
No one would forget my name if I started every sentence with me, Carl.
Oh dear.
Me, Carl. Me upset.
Me, Carl. Me mad about Dinobots.
Oh, no.
They flew, and that's the thing that bothered me the most still, is that they just fly.
Yeah. No,
they're in space.
No. On Earth, they flew.
Oh, never mind.
On Earth, they were just flying around.
It's sort of a controlled fall.
Yeah. They had both hands out flying.
Alex, the line is...
Autobots aren't meant to fly.
But Alex, the line is Autobots, robots in disguise.
Autobots aren't meant to fly. Autobots are cars, Decepticons are planes. That's how it works.
What's the point of even transforming if you can
There was
just
an
do all
entire
of it?
plot of one of the episodes in this Gen 1 cartoon where the Decepticons built more Transformers that were cars, and so people thought they were the Autobots. So the Autobots built planes.
Depending on also which series you go, that's the thing though. Autobots are usually cars, and but Decepticons aren't always planes. Sometimes you get like police cars.
In this Gen 1 cartoon,
in Gen 1, there was a point about that.
There was an entire thing that's how you could tell the difference.
If you want to go into the wider Transformers canon, one of the coolest Autobots is a space shuttle in Armada.
Yeah.
My boy Jetfire.
I think he might be one of the ones that gets built in the Gen 1 cartoon.
He might have, yeah.
They build them out of like scrap parts. You just give them life somehow.
That's pretty cool.
Like Wreck-Gar and the Trash Bots.
Transformers is such a weird universe.
Just imagine, like, you're the leader of this really cool, robot force that transforms into planes, and what can you transform into?
A
gun.
So I got to bring this up. So there's the scene we meet Megatron in this movie. The first thing he does is say, "Great job, Laserbeak, on spying on the Autobots. You never fail me." And then he turns to his second in command, Starscream, and says, "Unlike you, Starscream, you suck. You're a failure. You're disloyal. I hate you." The very next scene, Megatron transforms into a gun at the first sign of Autobots so that Starscream can fire him.
I thought it was Starscream's thing that he does. Oh, never mind.
My favorite thing, though,
Starscream's thing is that he's a whiny, disloyal shit.
Megatron is huge. Like, Megatron is like
enormous.
the same size as Optimus Prime, who turns into a truck.
Yeah.
But Megatron shrinks.
Into a gun.
Transformium shrinks.
Like, I can see where, like, the blaster is, but, like, where does the rest of it go? Where's his face? Is like...
It all folds in.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there was actually a toy of Megatron that turned into the gun.
Yeah,
Chase your brother around with that.
that's part of it
for
as
your
well.
for your kids.
Pew, 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 pew. I mean, that's part of it. These Transformers exist to sell toys.
Yeah.
At least Galvatron turns into a turret, and later iterations of Megatron turn into a tank.
Once again, my favorite Transformers cartoon, Armada. He turns into a main battle tank, and it's cool as heck.
It also kind of bothers me that the whole thing on his arm is a scope.
But it's also his gun.
Yeah, it's his gun, but it's a scope when he transforms.
Oh no.
Who needs a scope on a pistol?
Oh, I thought.
Unless you're playing Halo Combat Evolved, in which it's the best weapon.
Yeah, the Magnum is the best gun ever.
But yeah, in the Transformers, it's like he also has a scope. And it's like, I don't know why this exists, but it does.
Focuses in the light that hits the back of his arm and then points it out the other end as a cool-ass laser beam.
It's kind of a useless transformation, though, because, like, you look at everyone else, they've got space pistols, but Megatron just turns into a gun for Starscream.
But he's powerful. He's a more potent gun. Starscream still has hand blasters. Like, he still has his blasters on his hands. Like, when he's sitting there, like, holding Megatron in his hands, you can see on his wrists he's got, like, blasters poking out as well. Yeah. And then he turns into a jet and can fire his guns anyway. So he doesn't, like, he's more powerful without Megatron. Just, Megatron shouldn't bother.
Yeah.
He should turn into something better.
I guess at least he turns into the cannon later on and just claps.
They realize, So the Decepticons' hierarchy and leadership is purely like, it's orcish. It's practically demonic. It's just, if you kill the big dog, you're the big dog now.
Should have been Soundwave.
Soundwave superior, Constructicons inferior.
All the Constructicons, they were pretty cool too.
Don't leave me here, Soundwave! No. See, Soundwave's great because he's actually loyal to Megatron. He actually cares.
Yeah.
like when Megatron gets completely shit-mixed by Optimus Prime and can't do anything, Starscream walks up and kicks him and just says, "Oh, Megatron looking a bit wounded, are we?" Kicks him in the head. And then Soundwave actually goes, "Oh, Megatron, you're wounded. My lord, I will pick you up and carry you to the train."
He's the real MVP. He's got his boys in the shape of his cassette tapes.
One of my favorite things in this movie is just Soundwave letting out the cassette tapes, and then the Autobot equivalent lets out his cassette tapes, and they just start fighting.
Who can play at this game?
It's basically animal fighting.
They've got little Transformicons.
Transformers equivalent of cockfighting.
A Transformers dogfight as they let loose the Panther bots.
It's just like, why? Why is this just like again and again? It's like, oh, why?
Buy that merch.
Buy that merch.
So I'm gonna bring this in now. So I asked you guys before the show to try and come up with as succinct a synopsis of this movie as you can possibly make. What do you guys think you can say?
Ooh, I'll let you go first, Alex.
Transforming Death Star gets blown up in the eye.
We'll talk about that in a sec. That's it. Okay, I'll say it now. Unicron has a bad day. As soon as the Autobots show up, they corkscrew drill into one of his eyes, and then when they leave, they drive out the other.
Yep.
They just floor it out the other, and it's just, oh, yep, there goes the other one.
Yep.
I feel like he was better in planet mode than he was in people mode.
It was working out well for him. I don't know why he decided to change that.
I guess you got to flex on Galvatron when he's
please Star Wars build Death Star Transformer
with the chomp sound effect.
See, that's what they're missing for Episode 9.
Yeah,
they can bring the Death Star back in. They just have to make it turn into a giant robot and punch a planet.
2 people is enough.
That's possibly the coolest moment in this movie. Is just when Unicron turns into robot form and just punches a city on Cybertron.
My favorite thing though is like. Galvatron's like, oh, I've got him now. And then, like, Unicron turns into a robot. Just like, shit.
Yeah, Galvatron
then just eats
does
him.
Not succeed in this at all.
not only that, he's just like, I'm so much more superior to you, Unicron. And then Unicron turns into a giant robot, then just plucks Galvatron out of the air and eats him. Just plops him right down in his massive metal mouth.
Belly.
Just... Too bad for you. Nom.
Nothing goes well for poor Megatron / Galvatron.
No, he has a bad day. He has a really bad day.
If you thought Unicron had one,
I still function.
He has a worse one.
Yeah, summary of Megatron's day. It goes really well for him as Laserbeak does his job and Starscream continues to be a failure. Then he shows up on the Autobot city on Earth, kicks some butt for a bit. Optimus Prime shows up and shit mixes him, then gives him the massive business. He gives Optimus the business and kills him, but Optimus kills him back. Then Starscream kicks him in the face, then throws him out into space, and then he gets completely dissolved by Unicron to be turned into Galvatron.
I was quite surprised that Starscream didn't come back in the movie, because I thought it was his thing that he doesn't die, like, ever.
No, So when Starscream dies, he dies hard. Anytime Starscream has died in a piece of media, at least that I know of, he gets completely vaporized, atomized, or he has a really embarrassing scene where a human rips out his eye.
Oh, yeah, dear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Alas, poor Starscream.
Questionable choices in the Michael Bay film.
Don't even start.
I mean, this movie has its fair few questionable choices, like humans in the film. Why? I guess you got to relate to something.
Why do they need a kid?
I feel like a lot of the reason they put in a human character and protagonist into Transformers is to have a relatable character. We don't understand the morality and the scope of a giant robot from another planet. It's a lot more relatable for them to come to Earth and for them to deal in human issues.
Yeah. You also need that one dude to drop the swear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So part of this movie is they have Daniel's father, Spike, say a single line, just throw out like an, "Oh, shit! Cybertron's being eaten by a planet," purely so that this movie could secure a PG rating. And
I didn't even notice it when we were watching.
I'm not sure if it was in the version we watched, but
okay.
it was a deleted scene in what we watched.
Yeah.
Like it was cut, but it was in the theatrical release, and I remember it was on the VHS I watched.
I was watching the movie, and it just caught me off guard. Like I had to pause, roll back. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then it's for real. Like they swear in it.
Yeah.
A single swear.
A single one. Like,
just
that's
the one.
it.
Just the one. You don't want to push it to M. But the point is, they figured the children who are going to see this are going to see this. So they added that in just so they could get a PG rating, so that a parent would have to come along and see it with their kids. It's genius. So that brings us to my synopsis, which is the reason the best way I can sum this movie up is Hasbro needs to sell more toys.
Yeah.
Because they kill off or remove all your favorite Transformers and replace them with somebody else.
Yeah, like Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Please leave.
We need to kill off Optimus so we can sell more Hot Rods, Ultra Magnuses, and Rodimus Primes.
Yeah.
We kill off Megatron so we can sell a few Galvatrons.
I just want to buy a Daniel.
Then we add in Scorch and Cyclonus.
I just want to buy it.
A Daniel toy.
What was your synopsis? You didn't give it.
I guess I was going to go with something similar to just like Hasbro trying to push merch in the
Buy
80s.
that merch, Hasbro.
Yeah, buy that merch featuring Touch.
The music choices are great in this movie. Yeah, it's so perfectly 80s. It's got one of my favorite songs of all time in it.
When Optimus comes in and Touch starts playing, it was so camp. And I enjoyed it a little bit because I'm like, okay, this is dumb, but I like it.
Yeah.
It's good. Then Rodimus gets it, but like only for his transformation, really. And like he doesn't.
It's the song of the Prime.
Yeah, it comes in and you're like, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to relate it to Optimus back there. He doesn't have that cool thing.
That's the song that plays when the leader of the Autobots shows up and saves the day.
Yeah, poor that Interregnum guy who was coming in the middle and just gets blasted. They have a dance party when he's dead.
No, they reassemble Ultra Magnus and then is it reassemble Ultra Magnus then Dance Party or did they Dance Party
then they reassemble.
Oh shoot!
Yeah,
okay,
They reassemble Optimus's brother afterwards.
Yeah,
he's not even his brother in this movie,
isn't he?
No, he's just the person Optimus trusts to do the job. Just because, he's just a humble soldier, Optimus. He's just the more reliable person. Like he wasn't going to give it to Hot Rod then and there because Jesus Christ, could you give it to like adolescent 80s like cool guy Hot Rod? No.
Rodimus Prime though.
But that's when he ascends to the rank of leader. This movie is a coming of age movie for Hot Rod.
Yeah.
He has to go through this journey with Cup and go through all and learn the ropes and take up the mantle. So then he can take up the mantle of leadership and lead the Transformers. Yeah.
I mean, you obviously know that Hot Rod's going to become the leader when he touches that crystal.
Foreshadowing.
And it stops for like a few seconds there, plays some like nice music, and you're like, oh jeez.
I have no shame in admitting that I cried as a child when Optimus turned grey.
Actually, can I just say something?
Shoot.
I'm looking at the Transformers wiki,
Yeah.
and it's bad?
It's bad.
A hive of scum and villainy.
No,
Wackadoo.
they have like this still of one of the characters holding a drink, and it's like the bachelor party started well.
Yeah, I was reading through the wiki the other night, like just catching up on some like refreshing my memory on some Transformers Armada stuff, because holy crap, I love that series. And yeah, the descriptions of, like, the caption they give to pictures is a little weird.
There's a picture of Ultra Magnus lifting out a Decepticon, and it's like, this feels strangely vindicating. And I'm like,
Why?
huh?
On the topic of bachelor parties, can I just bring up that quasi romance with like the girl robot and Hot
Yeah,
Rod?
see.
And that was weird.
Why do
Like,
they need a robot?
Stick close to me. No, you stick close to me. And I'm
Who
like,
even was she?
Oh.
I don't
RC.
know. She was just the girl.
RC? Like the letters R and C. Turns into a motorbike.
The mother figure for the child.
Exactly. I'm glad you picked up on that.
Weird.
Hey, Daniel's helping. He's helping these 5 robots move the Robo Ballista.
He dead ass clapped someone though, like in there. He beat someone over their head. He gets bloodthirsty.
My favorite thing though
Savage.
is it reminds me of like the Ralph Wiggum being like, "I'm helping,"
I'm helping.
and he's just blowing bubbles.
I'm in
Transform.
danger.
Transform.
So how am I meant to transform? And they're all like, "I don't know," because it's a natural reflex for them.
Yeah. That's like saying, how do I breathe?
And then he turns into like a bobsled thing with his
Yeah.
head at the front.
It's so
And I'm
dumb.
like, this is not a safe thing.
That would hurt your neck.
crash.
Like that's just bad posturing. You're
The whole
trying
thing
to,
just folds over like a transformer does and breaks his spine.
Oh god.
Who
Really.
needs a spine?
Well, not Transformers.
I guess the kid's there for your fellow kids.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
God, they really didn't need it.
Adds a sense of scale, too. How are we supposed to know they're giant robots and not little tiny robots?
Can they at least have the sense of scale consistent?
No, of course not. Megatron turns into a blaster, damn it.
They have all the kids at the start of the movie, like all the Transformers kids at the Transformer Mall getting eaten by robot genocide.
Transformer
Jesus.
babies being eaten up by a giant planet.
Robo
Like-
Death Star. It's
yeah.
just the Death Star. Like,
Yeah.
admit it. It's just a planet with a hole.
But it's voiced by Orson Welles.
He
It's
had a
the
cool
la-
voice.
He did. He's got a great voice for that. And he
Some
also,
people get desperate for money, okay? And that's what we need to acknowledge.
this is the last thing Orson Welles did. Like, this is the last movie Orson Welles was in before he died. And it's perfect.
The movie?
Transformers movie. It's a legacy to live up. It's a legacy to like leave. The last thing I was in was Transformers the movie.
No, they,
I delivered such beautiful lines as "This is Cyclonus."
I don't think so. I don't think it's the greatest thing he's ever done. I mean, Citizen Kane comes to mind. The Third Man comes to mind.
Yeah, but
Both
as
of
we've been
which are
over, this
classic
is
cinema
the Citizen
masterpieces.
Kane of animation, Alex. It's better than Citizen Kane.
Oh, but he was also in the actual Citizen Kane, so
I haven't
yeah,
seen
I
it.
definitely think Carl's actually like tinted glasses.
Oh, yeah,
with this.
it-
Like, there's definitely an element of you being like, oh, I saw this film as a kid and it was
Yeah.
amazing.
And then I saw it 20 other times as a kid, and then I saw it when I was an older kid. Then I saw it a couple of years ago, and then I saw it this weekend.
Yeah, and Carl just keeps going on and on about it. He got out his old PS2 Transformers Armada game.
I will never stop saying good things about Armada. I love that series.
I could see that if you're a kid, this
Yeah,
is like
like,
the perfect movie.
I feel like if I saw this as a kid, like I said, I watched the original TV series and I liked it when I was a kid when I saw it.
yeah.
It was around the time that the movie came out, the Shia LaBeouf movie that I saw them. So like it shows
my
like
Transformers.
the age that I had to be at to get that sense of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have it for this film.
yeah,
This film is just why.
There is a lot of... So this movie... There's a few important things that happen, but for the most part, there's a lot of bumbling around.
Yeah, it made it very hard to follow. There's all this stuff happening left and right, and you're just trying to focus.
Like, for the most part, it's Autobots go to Earth, Decepticons follow and start attacking Earth. The Autobots pursue, Optimus Prime dies, the Matrix of Leadership is passed on, the Decepticons head back to Cybertron, Unicron shows up on Cybertron, and then eats 2 of its planets where the Autobots' bases are, then just kind of leaves.
Yeah.
Like, they're saying, oh no, Unicron's coming for Cybertron. He's already at their moons.
Yeah, he's at
And he
their
spends the entire second act getting from the moon. He goes from one moon, immediately shows up at the other, and then goes through this entire movie trying to get from Moon 2 to Cybertron.
Yeah, and then he just stops on the planet. That's my favorite bit, though.
He's stepping on it. That's how cool he is.
It is pretty damn cool. I mean, like, I guess he's trying to destroy the MacGuffin. What was it? The
Matrix of Leadership.
The Matrix of Leadership.
Which at this point, though, you say that, the Matrix of Leadership is worn on a chain around Galvatron's neck, like it's a piece of bling.
Yeah.
It's a huge piece of
Galvatron
bling.
is currently inside him because he just swallowed him whole. Could have at least bitten down. That would solve the problem. Probably destroy the Matrix in the process, but nah.
Yep.
Swallow him whole so that Hot Rod can find Galvatron sitting inside there going, team?
Yeah, it was.
And then immediately betray that.
Yeah, it's. I don't know why they bother. Transformers 2.
Don't do this. There is no Fallen in this movie.
It's just.
There's no weird almost sex scene in this movie.
Oh yeah.
There's no truck nuts in this movie.
Yeah.
Thank God. We're all better off because of it.
Oh, wait. Remember
doing
the
so much
Fallens
better
with
already.
that girl at the college that actually is a Decepticon?
Yeah.
I forgot about
What's the
that
deal with
until
that,
now.
dude?
I don't know.
I wish I could forget.
I'm gonna go home and watch Revenge of the Fallen. It's the only one I have on DVD.
Why? You have like the third worst one,
I think I have
which I guess makes it the third best.
I think I have the first one somewhere, but I only know where the second one is.
The first one's really the only one of those 5 I would call good.
Yeah. Problem gets solved when you jam a cube into Megatron's chest.
It works. It destroys the cube. Then we find it doesn't destroy the cube in the second movie because all of those Michael Bay movies are about undoing the previous movie.
Well, I get that kind of feel with this movie, to be honest with you. You know, you're saying they bring Optimus back, and then Hot Rod steps down, and I'm sure Megatron / Galvatron comes back as
Galvatron's
well.
still present. That
Yeah,
stays.
everything's happened and unhappens. I guess, you know, it is a kid's movie, and
It is.
it's a kid's show afterwards, so it doesn't matter so much.
No.
But
Gotta have that Optimus Prime merch, though.
yeah, I mean, like,
Buy that Prime merch.
Yeah, as you were saying, this film is like a way to get kids to buy merch.
oh yeah, just
Oh yeah, it
push
needs to move toys. Okay, yeah, Optimus Prime is not on the cover of the DVD actually.
Ah.
Front and center is Ultra Magnus.
Why couldn't you just look at the thing?
It's a reversible DVD sleeve.
Oh.
So I've got like the nice artwork on the front there, and the other side is the one that was packaged in.
Oh wow, the reversible one just gives away the entire plot.
Yeah, it does.
It's a picture of old mate holding.
But it's like a very
yeah.
classic
Rodimus-
sci-fi type poster.
Rodimus-
it was a cool poster.
It's
It reminds me
reminiscent
of,
of the episode 1 with the Death Star in the background and stuff.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Star Wars posters.
Yeah, I got that vibe as well. It is cool what they do. I thought they were actually going to get rid of Megatron and have Starscream lead the Decepticons. So I thought, I'm like, it's a clean slate. That's pretty cool. Explore some other
Yeah.
storyline.
I'm going to tell you now, Starscream does not hold up as a good leader in any version of
Oh,
Transformers.
I wouldn't imagine at all. He sucks.
So,
He's genuinely terrible.
as you were saying about the front cover,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yep.
And all the characters on it are side characters, except
Yep.
for Unicron.
Yeah.
There's Blur, who's the worst.
Yep. What do you need me to do, Ultra Magnus? This, that,
There's
and the
Ultra
other.
Magnus, who kind of like disappears after a bit.
Yeah, Ultra Magnus isn't super crucial in this movie. He kind of just takes up like, oh yeah, I'll hold it, and then dies.
Yeah. There's Gar, not Gar. The old dude.
Cup.
Cup.
Yeah. K-U-P.
And RC.
Yeah. All side characters, yeah. Where, is Hot Rod not on the cover?
No, not on the original.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
And there's not even like there's the Decepticons, but I think they're the Unicron ones.
Let's
like,
take a look.
because they're the purple ones.
Oh yeah, like his entirely
there's
forgettable.
there's
band
Galvatron
of,
on the cover, and then
Wait,
there's
is it Galvatron?
yeah, there's Galvatron there in the top right, and then there's also Scorch and Cyclonus.
the forgettable band.
Oh
of
yeah, that is Galvatron.
evil.
But like Scorch and Cyclonus, who only turn up after the Unicron like
Yeah.
makes them.
Yeah, just Unicron gives birth to some new Decepticons, who are wholly loyal, unlike Megatron, who his primary character trait is will stab in the back, must rebel.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
I have an arm cannon and must rebel.
He's led by no one. He's his own robot.
Yeah. Everything Megatron does has to be laced in treachery. He's the ultimate force of evil in the Transformers universe. So much so he sustains Unicron in Armada.
Begging for mercy from Optimus, who's
Yeah.
going to execute him. That was dark.
No, Prime!
Yeah.
In all fairness, it's a fake surrender. He's only doing it
But
so
it's
that he
still
can
like
reach his
straight up
blaster.
like I'm about to execute the hell out of you.
Yeah, I got I haven't seen.
No mercy.
I haven't seen the not the Knights one with the dinosaurs, but the kind of final Michael Bay one. Where,
The Last Night or Age
yeah,
of Extinction.
the one where Optimus gets really bloodthirsty, decapitates Megatron, and then blasts.
Oh,
at
that's
Hawkeye.
that's the third one. That's
Yeah.
that's Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
It's
I got that vibe, and I was like, oh my god, this is a kid's film.
Optimus Prime as a character is supposed to be like the ultimate lawful good character.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be this force of like all sentient life is precious regardless of transformer or human or whatever. He's supposed to be true to his word. He's supposed to be a defender of the innocent. And the more recent you go on with those Michael Bay films, the less and less they know what to do with him anymore. Because in 3, he just becomes, at the very end, this savage murder machine who decapitates and de-spines Megatron, then executes Leonard Nimoy's character, Sentinel Prime, just like
remember
point
that.
blank with a shotgun. In the 4th movie, he goes on a killing rampage, murdering a bunch of humans for killing Autobots and salvaging them for their Transformium.
Yeah.
And then in the 5th movie, he has 3 lines, and he just repeats like the same "I'm Nemesis Prime" over and over and over and over again, and then kind of just disappears in the 3rd act for most of the movie. Like, he only shows up 2 times in that movie just to fight some dudes, and it's so dumb the way they use him.
Look, man,
They just don't know what to do with a good character anymore. Come on, it's not that hard.
it gets a bit hard being the good guy here and there, and you just gotta let it all out. Just de-spying your nemesis.
De-spying your nemesis, exactly. And point blank execute someone begging for mercy.
Oh, he was gonna do that. I could feel it, man. He had that gun. He was gonna do it.
But it's different in Transformers the movie. In this cartoon one, it's not the same situation.
I would like it to be known that Nemesis Prime hates Christmas, according to the wiki.
Nemesis Prime,
Why would-
yeah.
It's a definite mention.
Is that like in the
Nemesis Prime is the dark mirror of Optimus Prime, a clone of the Autobot leader imbued with many of his abilities, but lacking all moral restraint. He also hates Christmas.
That makes sense. He's supposed
If
to be the
Optimus,
Dark Shadow.
yeah.
Optimus loves Christmas, loves it to
punches
death.
puppies. Robot
This
puppies
is
before.
this is
They had robot
Megatron.
fish
This is
in-
Megatron.
in the Transformers
man-
movie.
A robot so equal he punches puppies.
Sharkticons.
The Sharkticons, but then there was also
Sharkticons,
the
and there's
robot
also like
fish.
the piranha,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the
Transformers,
robot fish.
and also a giant squid.
Oh, I completely forgot about this moment until now.
Yeah,
But Hot Rod transforms underwater into a car.
yeah,
And then just
and drives along the seafloor to ram into a giant squid.
I completely forgot this. Wow.
I don't understand. Why does he turn into a car?
You see why this movie is amazing?
I don't know
Little
if I call
things
it
like
that.
this.
Every time Carl says amazing, it's always at something that's like a little awful.
It's
They all add up to a brilliant package that is more than the sum of its parts.
I don't know.
it's a thing.
It's a thing, and I don't know if
It's
it's
a
a good thing.
I feel like if I'd watched this, like maybe 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I would have been like, I would have loved this.
I will
I feel like.
I will treasure this movie and show it to my children all the time.
Your
They're
children will be like,
they're
"What
gonna
the hell,
love this
Dad?"
movie. They're gonna love this movie, or they're gonna hate me.
I'm gonna go with hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me. I have that effect on people.
Carl Jr. and Carlito having to watch the movie for the 10th time that year alone.
that week
that
alone,
morning.
That week, yeah.
Every
that
morning
day.
they wake up and have to watch Transformers the movie.
All right,
to
kids,
like,
come
do
on
it.
down. We're
They
gonna
just
watch
get
your father's
Stockholm
favorite
Syndrome
movie.
for the movie. They're like, I love this movie because it's the only thing their dad will let them watch.
There are some, like, I have to admit, like, it's good. It's a good enough movie for quotes, though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I was just remembering, like, one of my favorite lines in it is, the girl robot's like, "Did you have to let them blow up 3/4 of the ship?" And then the leader who's in between Optimus and Hot Rod.
Ultra Magnus.
Ultra Magnus is like, it would have been better than letting blow up 4/4 of this shit. I like that. It's got some good, like, there's some good nuggets in there, like really good lines.
Coronation,
and stuff
Starscream.
But
This is bad comedy.
Yeah, that I enjoy.
And then he ices him.
there's a bit where like Megatron is just insta-giving people, and it's like, all right, this I can roll with.
Yeah, it is. There are some really cool parts in there, but watching it now is just like,
It's like, ooh. I still can't get over the tag team robots. I liked that. One of them
Eric
would get
Idle's
knocked over,
voice.
and then the other would turn into the motorcycle.
yeah, those
It's just like, all right, you screwed up being the rider. Now you turn into the bike.
Wreck-Gar, who's played by Eric Idle for some reason,
Yep.
but has nipples as guns. Guns
So,
as nipples.
Very visibly erect nipple
perfect
guns.
design.
It was like
Like the
Mentos-
fembots in Austin Powers.
Or like the Mentos Ice dude, remember
Yeah.
from the advertisement years
Oh
ago?
yeah,
The advertisement that got taken off air.
gosh.
yeah. They're rebuilding. I've forgotten his name again.
Ultra Magnus?
Ultra Magnus.
Yeah.
It's like your warranty or your money back while they're
Money,
doing
your
it. They
money
were cool characters. I like them.
Yeah. I like Soundwave. I always
Yeah,
did.
who doesn't like Soundwave?
Soundwave's
though?
superior.
I also like how in order to like be the communication robot, they need to transform into the boombox.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't jack in until you turn into a
Imagine,
boombox.
like you're born as an Autobot and like you look around at all your friends, like they're finally getting their transformations. One's a tank, or one's a fire truck, and what are you? A boombox. Like, how disheartening
or
is that?
a telescope.
Yeah, the telescope.
Poor Perceptor. His entire role is just, yes, I will look at the thing, sir, of course.
Yep, I've looked at the thing. It's a thing. Yes.
Yep, I can see really close or really far away. That is my job. That is my contribution, sir.
So dumb.
Yeah. That's where that's at the start there. You can see where they're pushing the merchandise. They're just like, buy all these Transformers. Be that poor kid whose parents got you Perceptor instead of Optimus.
Shout
or
out.
Hot Rod.
They all have Optimus Prime toys, Timmy, but here you have Perceptor.
Turns into a telescope.
He turns into a...
I guess the boombox is kind of cool because you have a cool robot. If the boombox worked, but it wouldn't.
No, it
but,
wouldn't
so-
work. Of course not. It's about this big and shitty plastic. Of course it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And the Autobots had not the Autobots, the Decepticons had a boombox as well.
Yeah.
Everyone who was on the-
Everyone's got a boombox. You need like your communications guy. He's your radio operator.
Yeah. There's the Autobot and the Decepticon. They have pretty much not like all the side characters are similar, just they're similar abilities.
So like I remember. So like when you said that, I remembered that I actually had one of the Transformers,
Yeah.
but I am pretty sure it was one of the Constructicons.
Oh, that's the saddest thing I've ever
It
heard.
was the one that has like it's like a digger thing. I don't.
You had Devastator's foot, is what you had.
That was a cool robot.
Yeah.
But like his head, but the head
Devastator.
was on the shoulder of it, so I didn't know. I don't know. It was super weird.
That's actually really sad. Is just the one robot, the one Transformer I have is one piece of Devastator, not the whole thing.
Would they lead as the Constructicons or would they lead as Devastator?
Would they be a big community or just one big robot?
And
Yeah.
I don't know how they're planning on leading. Really, they're kind of crap.
Hey, they built Devastator.
They formed Devastator, a robot that punches walls.
That was a cool robot until they had the
His role is a battering ram.
yeah. That's cool.
That's
man.
cool. That's not leadership material.
Look,
that said, Soundwave probably also not a great leader. Very uncharismatic.
No, stuff you. He has his
Constructicons inferior, Soundwave superior.
He has his dudes, his cassette tapes.
Little dudes. Yeah, don't you pick on Soundwave. Go get him, boss.
They are awesome.
They're cool dudes. They're cool little dudes.
Yeah, no, I can't even find which one I had. It was just, it just had like it wasn't the digger. It was like one of the ones with the arm and the digger.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not yeah, I don't know.
So maybe an arm of Devastator.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, maybe it was Constructicon Maximus. I don't know.
Constructicon Maximus.
That's a dope name. As
Why
far
do
as
they
it,
call you Maximus.
as far as it goes, like,
Oh yeah, it was Steam Hammer. I had
Steam Hammer.
that's it.
Dope.
Yeah,
That guy's cool as shit.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that was the one I had. And I could never transform him back into a thing.
No.
Yeah.
He didn't fit in well. There was like a way to fold that I could never quite figure out.
Ah. Go look at those instructions on those things.
I had some like
They're actually pretty decent instructions as well. They usually help pretty well.
I had some bootleg Transformer
Oh?
toys as a kid at my grandparents' house, but they were more like animals.
Oh,
these
I'm not
panther
sure
type
about. I'm not
things.
sure about bootleg. You might have just had Transformers Beast Wars
I could have
stuff because Beast Wars was the one that came right after Gen 1.
It could have been. I felt like they were bootleg, but like you can transform.
felt
them
really
back
cheap.
at all. Yeah, that you can never transform them back. They were just like a panther with a head sticking out because I could never get it back.
I get you, man. I get you. Like I couldn't quite fold the back
Just a
in.
panther with a robot head coming out its spine.
Yeah,
Kill me.
yeah. It looks really cool until like it's this robotic panther, and then you look up and you're just like, oh no, there's a people head there.
Oh, that doesn't look right at
It doesn't
all.
look good at all.
Yeah, it's like why did I bother?
Most of my Transformers toys, I think, were from Robots in Disguise or Armada. Most.
La di da, Mr. Multiple Transformer Toys.
I had a few from the movie.
Oh man.
Just the first one. I was still a kid then.
So you're the guy who the Boombox Kid is jealous of.
Yeah,
You're the kid I'm jealous of.
dude, I got that Robots in Disguise Megatron who turns into a two-headed dragon or a hand.
That's pretty cool.
Two Robots in Disguise, Megatron is actually just Master Hand.
He sucks. His first appearance in that cartoon is just, it seems we're being approached by a giant metal hand.
Overall,
I'll
like,
save your butt.
but like to be fair, like I know I keep ragging on this film for being dumb, but overall, the entire premise of Transformers is also
dumb.
pretty
Oh,
dumb.
absolutely. Without
At
a
its
doubt.
core, it's dumb. That's the
Like
point of it.
robots that turn into other robots.
Yeah, robots that turn into vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, I would absolutely take this over the modern like dark and adult
Yeah,
Transformers.
How many Transformers films are they up to now? Because I think I last saw the first one with Mark Wahlberg.
there's 5 of them. So there's the first 3 with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Then there's 2 with Mark Wahlberg. And then it looked like they were teasing a 6th at the end of that movie, which was going to feature Unicron, which is in this universe, it's Earth.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
Earth is Unicron. There's like
Dope.
these 6 horns just start appearing around the planet in
Dope.
that movie, and then they don't get to it. They're just like they have a point where it's like, oh, the Transformers knew Earth was Unicron the whole time, but they did nothing and never mentioned it.
I
And-
wanna
and
see
so the
that.
plot. The plot of the plot of the Last Night is the Decepticons are trying to kill Unicron by destroying Earth.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so they kind of tease that it's going to happen in the 6th, but then the 6th isn't happening as far as
Isn't
I
it?
can tell. No, they originally had on their schedule to happen, and then they canceled that and said, all right, it's not in the works at the moment. And now they're working on the Bumblebee spin-off movie, which is coming soon.
Oh, they're going for a reset apparently.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably helpful.
Pray for the best. Yeah.
This movie has like a similar plot and concept to the third. It's strange. They undo everything that happened in the movies prior in every movie.
Yeah. I remember because I like the Transformers like movies. I did like Revenge of the Fallen.
I just
It's trash, but like I like it.
For me, it was just like it was trying to take itself way too seriously, and I feel like for something like this, you know,
But like, remember, like after a while, the
It-
only thing that are Transformers like TV shows now are like they feel like they're like super kiddish.
yeah, that's true.
I haven't been able to get into some of the recent cartoons because they do seem a little bit too
Yeah,
on the child side.
Yeah,
and
like-
I'm also not a big fan of like the modern
animation
cartoon
stuff.
animation styles they're using. It
Yeah.
just seems like it seems like sort of poor. It's like poor 3D animation. that lacks
Yeah.
any kind of detailing. It seems
It's-
strange to me.
It's all because it's computer animated. a
Yeah,
lot of
it
that.
just feels. I don't know. It just feels cheap these
Yeah.
days.
That's one thing I actually do have to praise this movie on.
Oh, yeah,
was
the
that
animation.
the animation
It's
and the
good.
drawing was like the intro scene where the planet's coming in. Oh my god!
Yeah,
that was amazing.
The opening shots of just Unicron drifting through space are cool as hell.
Yeah,
then him
like-
devouring a planet looks amazing.
Yeah, like it was done really well. I
movie is
compared to some of the other stuff I've seen recently.
Yeah.
This was good. This was really good.
Yeah, it was a dope film. Like
Yeah.
the animation was dope. Like the film itself is dope, but like at the same time, it's still super dumb.
Like,
And
yeah.
parts of it
It's
aren't as great
appropriately
as I'll
campy.
make it seem.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things. It can't
It's
be
not
enough
a
to
perf-
enjoy.
It's not like it's not a marvel of cinema by any means, but if you want to sit in there and just have fun, like it is a fun movie. Sure enough, Optimus Prime dies and the Autobots are having the worst day of their lives, but it's still a fun movie. It's enjoyable, and I
Alright.
like watching it. It doesn't make anytime I watch this movie, I sit down and I sit through the whole thing and I enjoy it, and I enjoy every moment of it, and I don't sit there questioning why I'm watching it, which isn't something I can say about a lot of Transformers properties.
All right, so let's play a fun game.
Okay.
Guess the Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Okay, of this movie.
Yeah, of this movie. Let's go with Tyler first.
It's percentiles, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess 65.
I'm gonna say 78.
Tyler's closer. It's 57.
57.
Oh my
57.
god!
Nearly
Ow.
half the people who've reviewed this think it's rotten.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I was being a bit generous there too.
Because I
actually.
think just from people talking here, I thought like you guys. I would consider everyone in this room to say it was fresh, right? Like overall positive review.
There were 13 fresh ratings and 10 rotten ratings. It does better than Tomb Raider.
That's something, I guess.
Although Tomb Raider was probably reviewed a fair bit more.
Yeah,
yeah.
Tomb Raider's a recent release.
Yeah, like
Compared to 19.
someone calls it an
Yeah.
awful toy commercial.
Yeah,
in
It is a
disguise,
toy
It
commercial.
is very much one.
but
And
that's
gives it
but
1
that's
out
all.
of 5 stars.
All Transformers has ever been has been a toy commercial. Like, I love Transformers to death and the property of it, but I know the entire time I'm being advertised to and they're trying to sell toys to people. And I know that even the movies now are being used to sell toys. And I don't understand how you can do that because they don't look like Transformers anymore.
Selling it to who? It's got like
Children.
Megan Fox in it. Like
Yeah. Children. Teenagers. A 12-year-old, a 13-year-old. You found your audience.
Signing
Michael
their budding
Michael Bay
sex-
knows what he do.
Signing their budding sexuality to Transformers toys.
Hey, it's better off them over sexualizing Megan Fox than the character they turned that on in the Last Night, which was a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll play another game.
Okay.
This one's out of 4 stars. Guess what Roger Ebert gave Transformers 2007?
2007,
Yeah.
so the OG. I'm gonna say 4 stars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he gave it. You know what? I'm gonna go for the other side. I'm gonna say 3.
Probably a 2.
Tyler was right. He gave it 3 stars. He liked it.
You mean Carl was right?
Carl was
Come on.
right, yeah.
You don't confuse the audience. It's bad enough we're 3 white guys with beards and glasses, Alex.
As a side note, Transformers 2007 has the same exact rating as the 1986 one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. 57%.
Huh.
Which is worrying because that was not better.
It was
I
pretty
do
good.
have a copy of this. I just realized I do
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. It was,
I should pull it out and watch
I still had fun in Transformers 2007. And I think if I watch it again, I probably still would have fun until like, maybe 3 scenes being the exception.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like an alright enough film, but
It's possible.
it's possible.
And it's one of those. Transformers has always been one of those things where, for the most part, you can turn your brain off to watch it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's giant robots fighting giant robots, or giant robots fighting giant robots to claim something.
Didn't find anything seriously wrong with it. Like it just, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was interesting enough.
Yeah. It was a movie, and it wasn't offensive, and like to me, and I'll give it credit for that because, yeah, it did like most things right, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't particularly great. Yeah.
Perfect. So thank you for coming on to, for this week, Tyler.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And we'll probably have you back in later in the season to pick out one of your movies of choice.
Oh boy, do I have a gem for you.
Let's not give it away now. We'll save that until later on. We'll talk about it. But next week we'll have another guest on, and this is the first time a film on this show has been picked by someone other than me and Alex. And this will be Kimi no Ne wa, or Your Name. It's a Japanese film from 2016, directed by Makoto. I'm going to butcher this, but Makoto Shinkai. So make sure you watch that, and we'll do the same. And we'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, Mike's camera action, transform, and roll out.